Hi, this is Ken Kaplan from the New England Motorcycle Museum and Kaplan Cycles, and today I've got a classic Norton Atlas. This is the 745cc, 55 horsepower, 408 pound road burner that was originally built in '62. They stopped making them in '68 and it was replaced by the Commando. This was the beast to have back in the day. This is known as the featherbed frame. I believe it was a variant of the matchless frame, and they were notorious for being excellent handling machines. This one has what they call the road holder forks on it, and it's just a really classic bike. This has a UK spec low bars on it. It's a new set of chrome bars. It has a brand new reproduction seat on it. The original seat was taken off and replaced with an aftermarket one that just didn't fit the bike, so we just put this new seat on. This bike was owned by Ron Kreider since it was 2 years old. Ron bought it in the late '60s. He owned it for almost 50 years and was getting up there in years, moved to Florida and sold us the bike. It's going to need to be gone through. Hasn't run in at least a decade, but the bike kicks over nicely. Seems to have good compression. The tank is going to need to be cleaned out. The tank is full of old gasoline debris, so that needs to be completely flushed and restored. The tank, the carburetors, and the bike definitely has a ton of potential. The transmission shifts in and out of gear, so Ron told us the bike ran well when he parked it, but that was a long time ago. So Ron had nothing but good to say about the bike, and he wanted to see it go to a good home that would preserve it and restore it. So we're hoping that it ends up in the right hands. We've got about a 6-month backlog on restorations ourselves, so we do not have the staff or the resources to restore this bike, so it's being sold as is, and it's an opportunity for an enthusiast to restore this bike the way they want it, or leave it exactly the way it is. It's on display in the museum right now, exactly the way it is. And it's definitely a conversation piece. Beautiful bike. Frame appears to be in mint condition. There's no dings or dents anywhere on the frame indicating any damage ever on it. It's nice and straight. The rear fender's in decent condition. It does have a small crack on the other side of the fender here that was welded. So the rear fender's got a little bit of patina and damage. The tank appears to be the original gas tank. It was painted by Rich's Custom Painting. He's got a little logo on the back here, the #1 logo. And very high metallic flake paint job. If you come up close here, it must be good quality paint because it was painted 40 years ago and it still looks halfway decent. It is chipping on the bottom here. It's a real thick paint job. Oil tank appears to be in good condition. Engine block looks to be in good condition, as do the engine cases. I don't see any issues. Or come around this side right here, Kenny. There's a really cool Norton logo on this side of the engine right here. The serial number on the engine is 18SS118106, and it's got the cool Norton logo there. Original carbs are intact. It's got some aftermarket air filters on there. Front fender is in decent shape. It appears that it's missing some brackets that originally came off the back and the front. Looks like he modified it to be a little cleaner looking, I guess. I don't really know, but bike's been sitting a long time. The chrome on the wheels, so the wheels will need to be re-chromed, or you can run them like they are, I suppose. I mean, the rear it's presentable, but chains in decent shape. The original mufflers were removed and some shorty dual exhausts were put on, I believe, the original head pipe. So that's about all I can tell you about the bike that I know. Like I said, the transmission shifts in and out of gear. The Kickstarter works great. The engine kicks over, seems to have good compression. If we were going to restore this here, we would clean the tank out, rebuild the carburetors, or buy replacement reproduction carbs and convert it to electronic ignition. That's what we've been doing on all of the old British bikes. And we've just done a '67 Triumph 500. We put between 70 and 90 hours on each of the last 3 British bikes from this era that we restored. So the way I would look at it is, if we restore this bike and we do 90 or 70 or 90 hours labor, you're going to have at $90 an hour, you're going to have easily ring up a $10,000 restoration bill. But if you do it yourself and it's a labor of love, you only pay for parts, a couple $1,000 with the parts, and you'll have this thing dialed in and do it yourself, and you've got a fantastic investment. The NADA value of this bike is just around $10,000 right now. So there's a lot of room for sweat equity here. So this again is built with the Norton's famous feather bed frame. It was originally built to appeal to the American market, and it's an awesome machine. 55 horsepower, 6,500 RPM. It was rated for, and it's a cool looking classic. 4-speed transmission, chain final drive, telescopic road holder forks, drum brakes, front and rear, and it was rated at 408 pounds again. So this seat is brand new. I have a receipt for it. I think we paid like $320 for it. It's a brand new reproduction seat. The bars are probably $30, $40 pair of bars. So the bars and seat are new. The rest of the bike does need restoration, but it is gorgeous the way it is. So this would make a great Christmas present for an English bike or classic motorbike enthusiast in your family. Love to have this bad boy under the tree, or buy it for yourself. A portion of the proceeds are going to fund the New England Motorcycle Museum. Check out the license plate on this thing. It's got a 1966 Connecticut license plate on it. That goes with the bike. So what does that make? That license plate is 52 years old. So very cool piece, very nostalgic. Hopefully it goes to a good home. If you want to buy it and leave it here at the museum, you can store it here forever for free. We'd love to keep it, but if you want to buy it and take it home, do that too. Whatever you wish. So with that, I'm going to roll her back in the museum, put her on display. Good luck bidding on it, and God bless England for making kick-ass bikes like this in Norton Atlas, and God bless America.